Good evening to all the dignitaries. I, Miss Trisha, is your journalist for today of the TV channel of Vijay Mary School of Nursing. So today we will have on our platform one of the great personalities and also was the co-foundress of the Sisters of Charity, who is known as Lady of Charity in the town of Lovere. She is with us to be part of the 50th batch lamp lighting ceremony. Let us welcome her in our midst with a huge round of applause. Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to the lamp lighting ceremony of the 50th batch. I, Miss Trisha, is your host for today, who is the student of Vijay Mary School of Nursing, which is run by your daughters at Secunderabad province, whose works of charity were remarkable for the past 50 years.
Good evening, my child. Thank you for your cordial invitation.
Ma'am, last week we had a little bit sharing about the saints who worked heroically to elevate the suffering humanity. And I heard your name again and again, and I am very much interested. Can you share with us about your childhood?
I am happy to share my child. My name is Catherine Zerosa. I was born in Lovere on 29th October 1784. And my parents are Giano Antonio Zerosa and Giacomina Macario. I was first of 4 children. This is my sister Francisca and Rosa. I was educated under the instruction of the Benedictine sisters at Candino, but my poor health prevented me from continuing my studies. This prompted me to leave and return to Lovere, where I spent my time at the counter of the store that my parents managed. My father had the tanning business and dealt in leather goods. My uncle Ambrosio would truly have preferred a boy as his pupil and blamed in uncomplimentary terms to my parents for having brought only girls into the world. Therefore, there was no other goal left for him than to train me. I soon learned the secrets of the trade so well, and uncle made me his secretary as his right hand. I had proposed to myself this way of perfection with a simplicity of piety, lacking in any craftiness or outward show. This was the time I lost both of my parents.
I feel it might have been a very hard time for you. How did you overcome such tragic reality?
I learned to share my suffering with Christ crucified. From Him, I gained the strength to live with my own cross. As more I went close to Christ, I felt that Christ crucified through the martyrdom of my own heart. Thus, I entered into the mystery of God who out of love for us died on the cross. I felt myself impelled to lavish His charity on those who were hungry, thirsty, naked, or sick.
I am inspired by your sharing of the two great focuses of your life, the cross and the poor.
My attention moved from the crucifix to the poor and from the poor to the crucifix. I believe he who knows the cross knows everything.
Who were considered as poor in your time?
The people around me who were not able to fulfill their need of day-to-day living. The mother, when needed a wet nurse for their babies and had no money, I did not ask, I say, give water to the sea. Instead, I gave water to the thirsty and bread to the hungry. My poor people were including the sick who were abandoned and alone.
Yeah, I remember that your house was always open to the poor people for food and shelter. And it was fantastic, ma'am. But I heard that you were taking care of sick in the hospital. Whose hospital was that?
After death of my beloved father, I have contributed to make the shop to prosper with the help of God. I learned to manage at the counter splendidly. I was not attached to money, but I tried my best to see that even least thing worked out well according to honesty, a virtue which is very rare in modern business.
Catherine, I will that the part of the property should be used for the poor. How?
Uncle will open a hospital because I want to strengthen the crumbling walls of House of Mercy, which was started with a donation made by Father Girolamo in the year 1794.
Very good advice, Catherine. In that case, take my house, which is near Porta Serena, should be converted into a hospital.
Soon after my uncle's death, Rosa, both of us immediately renounced the ownership and handed the house to Father Barbolio and Father Bosio. I used the patrimony to repair the building and adapted new needs. On the 1st November 1826, the citizens of Lovere could happily hail the birth of their first hospital for the infirm and for chronic patients, with 10 beds, with linen for about 20, with necessary furniture and 2 permanent persons to look after the sick. Dr. Luca Bassini of the locality every now and then visited the patients. Nothing very great perhaps, but now the poor, when sick, had shelter, food, care, and above all attention.
Katharina, I advise to take up the work of direction of the hospital.
No, Padre, I give every kind of help, but as for the direction, I could not think of it at all.
How about the direction of the hospital?
Padre, ask Bartolomea.
Good morning, Bartolomea. Good morning, Padre. I know that you are overburdened with the duties of school associations and you are a good organizer, and I have a great project that you should direct. No, Padre, I would like to withdraw myself from such responsibility. Bartolomea, I appeal to you, do it out of obedience.
Bartolomea taken the direction of the hospital. I knew Bartolomea, aware of that Jesus would identify himself in the poor, because she says, "Let us love the poor dearly," since they are living images of Jesus Christ. Bartolomea kept the registers with such exactness that they held as a model. She noted down everything with her own hand from the first day when the hospital, 1st November 1826, was opened up to the 30th of June 1832. But the best of her attention and care directly to the sick and especially to those who needed it most. I used to see her dressing the most disgusting wounds. She was there when same man was agonizing in the hospital. More than one who entered the hospital with contemptuous attitude left it healed in body and soul due to her care and kindness.
Oh God, such a wonderful saint you have met. Ma'am, I am excited to know about your experience in the hospital.
Yes, I remembered a man who was very quarrelsome and difficult to please.
Who are you, lady? I don't want any dressing for today. You inflict pain upon me. Go away from me.
My dear, I will be gentle with you and you will be okay soon. Without a shadow of resentment or a word of reproof, I bent over him, held his hand and kissed it, almost for this grateful act. This made me to remember the humility of Christ, who on the way to Calvary and on the cross had suffered much more spitting, ingratitude, and blows that were struck with ferocity.
Oh, ma'am, such a repugnant act. How did you manage?
That's why, my child, Crucifix is the biggest book to be meditated.
But, ma'am, how did the Institute of Sisters of Charity came to existence?
After so much of difficulties, struggles, and planning, we got the permission for the opening the religious institute on 21st November 1832, today popularly known as Sisters of Charity.
No doubt, ma'am, why your institute flourished so well in the 80s. But in the history of the year 1836, there was an outbreak of the cholera in Lovere. How did Mission of Charity help out through this epidemic?
I never forget that such a tragedy situation of Italy, first in 1835, reached Italy in the summer of 1836 to Lovere. The number of cases multiplied and deaths followed headlong. Since the time proved to be quite powerless and no other choice was left than to escape to the mountains as far as possible from the contagion, and those who could fled. Sisters, let us be ready. God will have pity on us, but He wills that we offer Him a proof of our love and uncommon courage. This meant, listen, the cry of the cholera stricken will be our affair, but don't be afraid.
Good evening, sister.
Good evening, brothers. Tell me, how can I help you?
Sister, we would like to meet the superior.
Sure. Dear brothers, please wait here. Madre, the brothers of Lovere are waiting for you.
Reverend sister, it is necessary to admit the cholera-stricken patients in your hospital. We are sure that your charity will not give us a refusal.
Certainly not. Give me a day's time to make the necessary arrangements and prepare the place. My dear daughters, here is the awaited moment. The Lord comes to visit us in the form of the cholera patients. If any of you feel inclined to assist Him, come. I don't oblige nor judge anyone.
We will go with you, Madre.
Well, then from tomorrow we shall close schools in order to be more free, and we shall send the children to their homes. From now on, we shall concentrate all our care on the cholera patients. Until the epidemic ceases, the hospital and the homes of those who are stricken, and any place where there are people who ask for our help, will be our convent. The epidemic lasted about 2 months from June 27th to August 23rd. In Lovere, the persons who were a prey to it were 249, the victims 83, and the number admitted into the hospital of Sisters of Charity 47.
Thanks a million, ma'am, for sharing such blissful experience with us. Me and the viewers are enriched by your life experiences. Bless me and all those who are gathered here. Being part of this great institution, we may also be able to fly the banners of Sisters of Charity with such dedicated services.
God bless you all, and my prayers are always with you, especially for the 58th batch nursing students of Vijay Mary School of Nursing.
Thus, the call of Saint Vincenza Gerosa in the year 1836 to serve the sick cholera patients had crossed the boundaries of Lovere and reached various parts of the world. There were thousands of sisters who were educated in the nursing profession and rendered remarkable services. In such institutions, our Vijay Mary School of Nursing is one. For the past 50 long years, had trained 1,547 nursing students 303 religious sisters, and set out to be the healing balm throughout the globe. May the efforts of Vijay Mary School of Nursing, under the direction of Sisters of Charity, in molding our hands in service of the sick, may continue to flourish. I give standing ovation to you, dear sisters.
Day and night is every hour, myself I will not spare. All my strength and all my life I will consume to bear. Burdens of the sick, the poor, the young, infirm and old. They will be my children dear, my heart and arms and fold. Lord, I love you, give to me a heart inflamed with charity to radiate your love through me. When I tire and fear to fall, let me look at you, my all, your saving death, Lord, I recall. Heart and soul, the Lord I give in service to the youth. To breath and blood consumed in love, my care for them I prove. The destitute, the little ones, they are so dear to you. The images of you, my Lord, reflecting you so true. Lord, I love you, give to me a heart inflamed with charity to radiate your love through me. When I tire and fear to fall, let me look at you, my own, your saving death, Lord, I recall. To know the cross is wealth indeed, its treasure beyond price. Knows it not, the learned peace, a fool in disguise. Blending prayer with charity, a wish and will for me. In your grace, Lord, to